Imagine a virtual home where you cared for your pet, made memories with friends, and your hardships didn't matter. Now imagine it's gone. This was the heartbreak millions felt when two beloved pet games shut down, sparking widespread protests and, in one case, a legal battle. Hey, how's it going? It's Pinku. Today we're diving into the fascinating stories of two Facebook games, Pet Society and SuperPoke Pets, uncovering what made them special and the drama that happened due to them closing. Drama! Pet Society. Pet Society was one of the most popular Facebook games. It had 50 million monthly players, 5 million daily players, and made as much as $100,000 a day. It was a game made for people who don't play games. The game was released August 8th, 2008, and was owned by EA and Playfish. Playfish was his own thing for 2 years, before EA bought it in November of 2009 for $300 million. And you'll see EA's influence later on. So what was it all about, and why did it become so popular? Honestly, it was like Animal Crossing, but with a competitive twist. 3 key social emotions in Playfish's games are self-expression, competition, and collaboration. Self-expression was one of the main reasons the game was successful. Players could customize their pets' appearances and dress them up to their heart's content. They could also decorate their houses and add their own personal flair. Of course, EA had to monetize so much of it though. You could buy virtual items for real money if you wanted to, and a lot of it wasn't cheap. The reason EA made as much as $100,000 a day was just from selling clothing and decor. How could you afford all this stuff if you didn't want to shell out the big bucks? You worked for it. Capitalism strikes again. Some ways to make coins were selling caught fish, shaking money trees in the neighborhood, and selling poo for some reason. Seriously, there were different rare poos. There were other ways to get coins too that you'll see later. Beyond dress-up and decoration, Pet Society, of course, was a pet care game. It was just like a real-life pet where it had its own needs. Taking care of the pet involved washing, grooming, feeding, and playing with it. There were rope, ball, and frisbee minigames to play with your pet. Caring for their pets daily helped players form strong emotional bonds with them. However, this was just the beginning. What made the game feel real was the amazing community surrounding it. Pet Society was designed to become better as more friends play the game, which encourages players to invite their pals to play with them. The game was like a little town for you and your friends. Whether you were competing with friends or helping them out, there was always a sense of community. Pet Society had competitive elements, of course, in its gameplay too. Players spoiled their pets and wanted to flex their outfits and designs. You could level up in the game by acquiring pet points, their version of EXP, which gave you rewards and status. A main way to earn paw points was by competing in stadium races, which also gave coins. They were intense. Even something like fishing was competitive because people wanted to display their big fish. Trophies earned for achievements could be proudly displayed in players' houses as well. Since some players didn't want to grind, they turned to hacking to gain paw points and other items faster. The hacks were often shown on YouTube, where hackers shared their methods. This one had a questionable song choice in the video, and I felt like I had to share it. Most players were honest though, and had fun building up their accounts. Despite the competition, players still worked together to help each other's pets remain happy and healthy. You could visit your friends and take care of their pets, and they could do it for you too. Didn't hurt though that they were bribed with coins. Players could trade to get items they wanted, or they could gift their friends. EA wanted to incentivize people to invite and help their friends by giving them rewards, which were money and paw points. However, it still helped establish a community that helped others and felt like everyone was included. The game was special to so many, so it had a massive loyal community. On April 27, 2009, Pet Society was the first game on Facebook to surpass 1 million fans. Many shared their rooms and outfits on social media. The game would also tell your feed what you're doing on Pet Society, which got more people interested in playing the game. And it kinda exposed you for how much time you were spending on the game. There was fan art created for the game too. Some fans even created blogs to talk about their pets and experiences on the game. Pet Society was also great at creating contests to engage with their community. One of them was a song contest. I thought it was funny that one of the winning songs was titled "My Wife Loves Pet Society More Than Me." If you have any other winning songs, please share it with me because I can't find them. Lost media. Woo! Players enjoyed the extensive customization options, grew attached to their pets, and created cherished memories with their friends. Sadly, it all changed when EA yoinked it. The company that made the game, Playfish, was shut down by EA in 2013, so their games were too. Pet Society was scheduled to shut down June 14, 2013. EA had said the reason they were shutting it down was to reallocate development resources to other titles that we hope you'll have just as much fun playing. Basically, if it wasn't making big bucks or pulling millions again, they didn't see it as worth their time. So tragic. Pet Society players wouldn't go down without a fight. The hashtag Save Pet Society movement was started as an attempt to get EA to keep the game up. The Please Save Pet Society Facebook group was created and was at 32,000 members strong at the time. I can't find the Facebook group, so take this with a grain of salt. Other attempts at getting EA's attention were a Please Save Pet Society Twitter page, a really dramatic video made by the Please Save Pet Society YouTube channel, and a song that someone made dedicated to Pet Society that was part of the Facebook group. People started petitions begging EA as well. They shared their own experiences and what they would be losing if Pet Society shut down. There's a change.org petition with 18,572 supporters. Here are some of the comments. Bonnie Copestick says, "Are you freaking kidding me? Pet Society is my only joy in life. If you pull it, you may as well get ready to be responsible for a lot of... I won't be one, but a lot of people live for Pet Society. I want all my freaking money back, you thieves." Claire Wright said, "My entire family have played this game for 4 years. We have spent an obscene amount of money buying cash coins. This is a disgusting way to treat a customer." Winther said, "I suffer hard from fibromyalgia and spend most of my time in bed. Pet Society helps me keeping my mind from all the pain. No matter if we are sick or healthy, if we use it to escape from our sickness, for fun or stress release, this has become a part of our social life. To us, it's not just a game." In an article by The Atlantic, a fan named Selena Inoue, a leukemia survivor, shared her feelings about the shutdown. People were crazy about Pet Society too. EA has completely underestimated that, and yeah, a lot of people felt like EA was their pets. They gave us 2 months to cope with the loss, I guess. Playing the game became an escape for me and a lot of people from the more unpleasant aspects of life. It was just a really special place to go. I can think of at least 3 other people off the top of my head who are living with chronic illnesses like me, who I met through the game. Pet Society was shut down 3 to 4 days after it was scheduled to close. Allegedly, in typical EA fashion, they had a sale the day before it closed for currency. Yep, of course they wanted more money. The fans made recreations and spiritual successors to the game since they missed it so much. People were able to do offline versions, there are remakes such as Pet Pals and Pet Paradise, and there's Pet Society Island. While not official, it looks like it's gonna be so much like the original. SuperPoke Pets was a similar game to Pet Society and met the same unfortunate end. However, this was the game that sparked a lawsuit and a lot of rage, so stay tuned to find out why. If you want a more in-depth version of the story, go to Periwinkle Twinkle's Reddit post. This is just my version inspired by it. SuperPoke Pets was another social pet care game featuring customizable outfits and rooms. You could pick one of 13 animals to adopt and take care of. Though only a small cult following remained near its closure, at its height it was estimated to have over 7 million players and amassed more than $5 million in profit. Do you know how many Draculaura dolls I could buy with that? The game started as a Facebook app called SuperPoke, which took inspiration from Facebook's poke feature. If you're unfamiliar, poking on Facebook was a way to send someone a little notification to grab their attention. SuperPoke was made by two university grads who collabed with an undergrad from a different school. They enhanced Facebook's poke feature by adding new actions like smiles, winks, and slaps. Fun fact, SuperPoke got into controversy when there was a stab feature, but Facebook asked them to remove it. With 3.8 million users, SuperPoke was appealing enough for Slide to acquire it. And so, Max Levchin's company Slide bought SuperPoke and its adorable animal characters in 2007, and sought to create a game out of them. The actual game was released in 2008 as a website and an app. What was it about this game that made it so special to players, creating such strong anger over its closure? SuperPoke Pets focused more on self-expression and collaboration. There weren't any competitive minigames like Pet Society had. Actually, there was only 2 minigames in total. The main draw was taking care of pets and dressing up / decorating their habitats. And decorate they did with over $5 million spent. Players were really creative in this game. People dressed their pets in cute outfits, and their habitat designs were such elaborate pieces of art. The 2 currencies to buy stuff were silver and gold. Silver was earned by playing the game, and gold you bought with real money to be able to purchase gold items in-game. VIP membership was also for real money, which gave access to features like resizing items in their habitats and granting access to the pet salon to change pet markings. While self-expression was a key part of the game's appeal, another reason players loved the game was the care and connection they had with their virtual pets. You took care of your pet by playing with it, cleaning it, and feeding it. I don't know why, but tickling it? Yeah, I guess Pet Society and SuperPoke Pets had their rather interesting game mechanics. Looking at you, Special Pooh. Collaboration and community were very important to SuperPoke Pets players. Like Pet Society, there were major incentives to helping out your friends. For example, you receive coins if you play with the friends' pets or if they play with yours. Plus, it was just nice to visit them, interact with their pets, and see their rooms. There were many ways players could socialize in the game. People shared their habitats and outfits online, fans were able to talk on forums, and there were in-game clubs you could join. Simply by playing and creating memories with friends and pets, players built a strong community. Overall, SuperPoke Pets was thriving. Unfortunately, this golden era didn't last long. Enter the villain of our story. If I had a nickel for every time a big company took over a game and it suddenly took a nosedive, it would not be 2, because it actually happens a lot. On August 4th, 2010, Google bought Slide, the company behind SuperPoke Pets, for $182 million. It seemed promising in the beginning when Google made positive changes like quests, new character models, VIP, and adding gold. And these things allowed players to do more and support the game financially. However, swiftly after, Google implemented changes one by one that sealed the game's fate. On June 6th, 2011, SuperPoke Pets announced that they would stop updates and said that the game had reached a point of self-growth. As updates stopped and features were removed, players grew frustrated, especially as the game's monetization ended. People who spent real money were being punished. The removal of the premium currency, gold, made their special items worthless because they could now be purchased using the currency earned by playing, silver. You can imagine the disappointment of those who had spent hundreds or even thousands of dollars on the game when they heard the news. Google got rid of the ability to link to other platforms like Facebook as well, which was where many played. Players were terrified that this meant the game was shutting down and started petitions. Slide kept reassuring them though that it wasn't. However, on August 25th, 2011, Google announced that they were dissolving Slide and shutting down its products, including SuperPoke Pets. Their promises ended up being empty words. And the player's worst nightmare came true. September 2011, Google announced that SuperPoke Pets would be shut down on March 6, 2012. The SuperPoke Pets team was merciful and asked Google to give them 6 more months before shutting down the site. All hell broke loose when players heard the news that SuperPoke Pets would be shutting down, especially after being treated like they were crazy for assuming the worst. They put up with all the changes, but shutting the game down was the straw that broke the camel's back. Players put a lot of time and money, emphasis on money, into taking care of their pets, expressing themselves, and building their community in the game. People took to the forums and the TechCrunch article talking about Google shutting down Slide to express their rage. One of the most iconic comments where my section title comes from is by Annette Stamford. Hell hath no fury like a SuperPoke Pets player scorned. Shame on you, Google. You could have sent that $200 million to the homeless and left the game alone. It's not like any new developing was going on anyway. What was it costing you? Lame excuse for ditching a very popular and loved game by so many. Players in-game were placing animal abuse awareness ribbons in their rooms, as well as creatively arranging decor as a form of protest. They created petitions again to tell Google they wanted the game to stay. Like Pet Society, this wasn't just a game for people. It was their home, and an escape from their hardships, including illnesses or disabilities. On one petition, Melanie B said, "I have played SuperPoke Pets for over 3 years now. When my Parkinson's is really hard on me, it gave me friends of support and took my mind off a lot of my life I wasn't in control of." A former Slide staff member even made a morbid video about the game closing, too. Everyone was livid and wouldn't be silenced. So, how did Google respond to this? They turned off comments on the official post announcing Slide's closure, so that pretty much shows how much they wanted to see people's thoughts. Slide's communications team made a comment on the SuperPoke Pets forums in response. One thing you can't do with virtual goods is bring them home and keep them forever. They also made a janky comparison between virtual items and a Halloween costume. You purchase it to dress up and enjoy the experience, but likely don't wear that costume day in and day out, or for every Halloween thereafter. Me personally, I don't really think those are comparable, since people played the game daily and cared about it. Players felt that their concerns were being dismissed, and their beloved game was being thrown away. So how did they retaliate? By filing a lawsuit, of course! Since Google had no plans to keep the game running or refund the millions spent on gold, players decided to take matters into their own hands. On January 26, 2012, Crystalie Abreu, a SuperPoke Pets player who had spent over $1,000 on gold, filed a lawsuit against Google and Slide. She did so on behalf of all players who would be losing access to goods that cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars, as well as VIP memberships. Google tried to please players by creating SuperPoke Pets Lite, an app that displayed your habitat and pet and allowed you to perform the 4 caretaking actions. Though they didn't actually take care of your pet, they just showed the animations. This lacked the social, caretaking, and shopping abilities of the actual game, so it wasn't enough to stop the angry mob. Months after the game closed, the law firm handling the case decided to drop it. They told players that it seemed unlikely to succeed since the game was already gone. This led to Crystalie Abreu voluntarily dismissing the case in 2013. There still is SuperPoke Pets Lite, and an add-on app Neil Wick made for it that allows you to decorate your habitat with archived items. Also, there aren't any rewrittens since the game was barely archived, but there was a failed attempt at an inspired game called Bitty Pets. Maybe one day someone will make a good rewritten or inspired game. Nothing is forever, but you enjoy things while they last and remember them fondly. You have to go in nowadays with the thought that the game will eventually shut down, even with time and money spent. Pet Society and SuperPoke Pets often show up in conversations together since they were pretty similar and unfortunately had the same fate. Players loved them dearly though, and they were special to them. I personally played both games, and they were part of my own core childhood memories, which is why I wanted to make the video to share their stories. Pet Society is especially important to me because I used to play it with my mom and sister. My mom's pet sweetie will live on in our hearts. Erner said it best. I think what they miss is not their pets. I think that they miss that community, that channel of getting to people that they love, and they're not going to get it back. Did you play the games? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!